What's up, my mathletes? This is Mr. Muscarella coming at you, and we're going to take a look at this video reviewing coterminal angles to determine if two given angles are coterminal or if they're not coterminal. So when we take a look at this, we're going to be given some numbers, right? So we'll be given some numbers, and depending if we're working with degrees or radians, we're going to work with adding or subtracting 360, 720, 1080, or maybe 2 pi, 4 pi, or 6 pi. Those are going to be the values we want to see if we get multiples of 360 or 2 pi as we do our arithmetic. So one way to do this is just to find the difference between these two values that you're given. So if you take 315 degrees and you subtract 855 degrees, you will end up with a value. And that value you want to take a look at. So doing that arithmetic, so 315 minus 855, when you do that, you will end up with a sum of negative 540. So what I want to do is compare that. So I'm going to kind of put a little green box around there. So you want to compare that to 360, 720, and 1080. And does 540 go into any of those numbers evenly? And the answer is a big fat no, it does not. So that means these two angles are not coterminal because they've got to be a multiple, their difference has to be a multiple of 360 degrees. That's one way to do it. Now, one of my other students had this really awesome way of doing it. Destiny, I love you, kiddo, man. You're awesome. What she did, so I'm going to call this Destiny's method. So what Destiny did, right, was she just did this. She took 315 and she added 360 to it. All right? And then when she came up with that sum, so 3 and 3 is 6, 75. And she's like, all right, well, that is kind of close to 720, but in there. But I want to see, so she's comparing it to the value of the angle you're given, 855. So she's going to keep adding 360, right? So if I added another 360, I want to see if I can get that value, 855, if I can get them to line up. All right, so if I add 675 and 360, then we'll end up with 1,035, which is not 855. So unfortunately, you know, same process, but these two angles are not coterminal. So Destiny's method works, I like that. Or you can just subtract the two angles and do it that way. So either technique works, and they'll get us to our answer, which is no, they are not coterminal, because their difference is not a multiple of 2 pi. All right, that's it. So that's it for the degrees, and I think most people are pretty solid with the degrees. It's the radians that are the challenge for a lot of people. Now, with the radians one, here's what I'm going to recommend you do on the radians, right? So you want to see if you add or subtract them, if you'll get a multiple of 2 pi. Now, here's our magic number on this one, right? Our magic number is 9, which means 2 pi in terms of ninths. So 2 pi in terms of ninths, that's going to be 9 times 2, which is 18. So 18 pi over 9 is what we would look for multiples of. And we want to see if the number we get when we find the difference between these two is a multiple of 18. So multiples of 18 are going to be 18, 36, 54, 72, and so on. And they could be positive, could be negative, doesn't matter. Now, we're going to start out with our 7 pi over 9. Here's a mistake some people make, so be really careful when you do this. Subtract, and then put parentheses around it. That 11 pi over 9, that's negative. So a lot of people will make a mistake right there and just subtract 11 pi over 9 because they see the negative. So be careful when you do that. When you do that, and I'm going to do this a long way here, so 7 pi over 9 plus 11 pi over 9, we'll end up with 18 pi over 9. Well, that's kind of sweet because that actually is 18 pi over 9 is a multiple of 18 pi over 9 because it's the same thing. You know, so that's cool. So when you're working in radians, you want to make sure that you get the denominator, I'll call it the magic number, you want to get the denominator to be a multiple of 2 pi, so to figure out what that number is, or the numerator is going to be a multiple of 2 pi, which in this case would be 18 over 9, because 18 over 9 reduces to 2, so 18 pi over 9 reduces to 2 also. So that's one way you can go ahead and approach this one. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys, and I will catch up with you later. All right, good luck on your quiz, and I'll catch up with you soon. Peace out.